Hi guys, welcome back once again to my YouTube channel. I'm B-Boy. Remember, if it is for the first time you're coming across my video, don't forget to like this video, subscribe and share. Okay guys, in today's clip we want to see how we'll talk about there is a lot of white South African farmers who have really came out and they're really crying out for help. They are really begging President Donald Trump to help them because of the genocide that is going on in South Africa. A lot of white farmers are being killed, and we all know there is high crime rate in South Africa, and they want President Donald Trump to help them. Kindly watch this clip and then we come back for more discussion.
The President of America, Donald Trump, we need you here in South Africa. Number one activist here in South Africa against the farm workers killing, including stock theft, Petrus Pagamnesito. I say to you that, please, we need you. Come and help us here in South Africa. The police, they don't do their work. The police investigator, they throw away the cases. The justice system here in South Africa, corruption. And the one that we have, Cyril Ramaphosa, he lied that there's no farm killing. Please, Donald Trump, the President of America, we need you here in South Africa. We will go here in South Africa to the Embassy of America to send a message. In Pretoria or in Cape Town, we will do that for the sake of our people, for the sake of our country. Because the politicians, they are the same as this government. All of them. They're the same. We need Donald Trump, the President of America, to come and save South Africa. 07300 84105. Petrus Pagamnesito, number one activist. Let's protect our food security. Let's protect our farmers and farm workers, including stock theft. Ramaphosa is a liar. He lied that there's no farm killing here in our country. South Africans, let's pray that our message will reach to the President of America, Donald Trump. I thank you.
Behind me is the United States Embassy. President Donald Trump have just announced on X that he wants to give South African farmers refugee status and help with resettlement in the United States of America. Trump also signed an executive order yesterday to cut all financial aid to South Africa, including crucial funding for HIV/AIDS treatment that supports millions of patients. The impact on the healthcare sector is devastating. President Trump says this is in direct response to the ANC's land expropriation without compensation policy, which Cyril Ramaphosa have signed into law in January 2025. This policy has sparked massive economic and political concerns. South Africa has around 35,000 white commercial farmers. If they start leaving the country in large numbers, food security across the continent could be at a serious risk. And it doesn't stop there. The U.S. is now reviewing AGOA, the trade agreement that provides South Africa with massive economic benefits. If that gets cancelled, we are looking at job losses in the millions. I call on President Cyril Ramaphosa and the ANC to stop this madness. South Africa cannot have policies that destroys jobs, that destroys investment and alienate its own citizens. Our people deserves better leadership, not silent diplomacy that leads to disaster.
You may have missed this, it's not been on the news. So in South Africa, the South African government and South African president have just signed off on a law which makes it legal for land seizures or land expropriation, as they call it, from white farmers. Basically what this law says is that if anyone can show that there's been any historical reason or historical abuse that's gone on by the landowners or by the farmers, even going back 50, 100 years when apartheid was in place, then that land can now just be seized from those farmers or expropriated and given to the South African black population. Now, many people might say, well, yeah, under apartheid, this land was taken wrongly, there was abuse by those people, but that may well have been 50, 80, 100, 150 years ago, and in many cases the land may not have been seized, it was just used for farming. And yes, those grandparents or great-grandparents may not have been the nicest of people, but what this is going to cause is exactly what happened in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe used to be recognised as the breadbasket of Africa. It was a very agriculturally rich and very rich country, and then Robert Mugabe took it over, passed very similar laws, sorry about that, very similar laws which took away all the farmland from people, and it turned much of the farmland in Zimbabwe into dust bowls. It caused mass starvation, mass poverty, mass migration. It absolutely destroyed the country. And I would imagine very similar things are going to happen now in South Africa. There's been huge violence against white farmers that's not been making the news. Rapes, murders, burnings, pillage of those farms. And now that's just been made legal. So what's going to happen? Well, what's going to happen is, other than the very, very toughest, all those farmers are going to flee their land. The farms are going to get handed over to people that don't know how to run them, don't know how to run agriculture properly, don't know how to farm properly, and they're going to fall apart. And that's going to lead to starvation, it's going to lead to poverty, it's going to lead to all the workers that currently work on those farms getting thrown out of work, and it's going to lead to the collapse of the South African farming industry completely. And yet that's apparently a good thing, and it's all in the name of equality. Well done.
Yeah, how's it? So I'm pretty pleased with this executive order that's been declared by Trump to give South Africans, well, white South Africans that are primarily Afrikaners, a political asylum and basically refugee status due to the kind of affirmative action and black empowerment policies of the current South African government, which is it's basically just black racism, you know, that's been legitimized for various reasons, and your average liberal is very much okay with this. So I'm very pleased. I think I'm on the Trump train now. I heard this expression, people getting on the Trump train and getting off it. In his first term, he didn't quite get done what I thought he should have gotten done. But if you look at Trump at the moment, he's only been there for 2 weeks, and I am astounded at what's changed in the United States already. And the fact that a Western country has finally taken some interest in the real world issues of white people in South Africa it's amazing. It's been ignored for so long. I lived through I was born in the 70s, so I grew up in apartheid South Africa. I mean, I know what it was all about. After 94, when things changed over to the supposedly new, improved South Africa, it just snowballed, you know, it went to shit. And so finally, somebody is taking action and giving white South Africans, Afrikaners, a break. And I really appreciate it. I currently live in Canada, so I did escape South Africa, but I'm really happy that a lot of other South Africans will be able to escape it if they so feel the need to do so. I know there's a lot of South Africans will definitely stay on because, you know, our ancestors built up the country, you know, and there was no country until Europeans settled it. Until then, it was just nomadic tribes. There's no government. So yeah, what my ancestors did establishing that country is amazing. I don't think people can really appreciate how difficult it is to get anything done in Africa. The fact that they built this major country is amazing. It's a pity that the international community decided to you know, assault it for so many years because they didn't agree with the policies. But you know, to each his own. Yeah, I'm really happy with the way it's playing out right now. I'm still flabbergasted. I can't believe this has happened. So yeah, like I said, a lot of South Africans will probably decide to stay on because our ancestors built up the place. There's a lot of, you know, there's strong roots there. But again, my biggest concern right now is it might really affect race relations because there's going to be animosity. The other thing is there might be a second great track, or in Afrikaans, groot trek. It was a phenomenon where in the past, before South Africa was settled, there was something called the groot trek in Afrikaans, in English the great trek, and then these Afrikaners, or these track boers, they moved from the Cape Province into the interior of South Africa and settled it. They came across areas that were depopulated because of I think it was called the Afrikaners and Afrikaners. It was intertribal conflict, and I think the Zulus were really establishing an empire, and they conquered lots of other groups, and you know, assimilated those smaller groups into them. Whoever lost against them was assimilated. You either assimilate or die, you know, like the Borg. And yeah, so my ancestors moved into areas that were depopulated, and they established the two Boer republics, the Orange Free State and the Transvaal, which were then later assaulted by the British Empire during the First Boer War and the Second Boer War. So that's history. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way things are playing out. So, oh, the point I was trying to make. So this great trek, the second great trek might happen because now people will be incentivized, or actually it'll be made easier for them to just leave that space and just say, fuck it, we're done. And they move to the United States. You might see 1 million or more Afrikaners just leave the country, and it would have a devastating consequences for not only South Africa, but for the whole region, because that expertise will be gone forever. I mean, once you leave Africa, I don't think it's a good idea to go back. I'm never going back. I'll stay in North America. I prefer it here. It's more my flavor. I don't have time for all the bullshit that you have to deal with in Africa. I can deal with it. I know what to do there, but if I can avoid it, I'll just avoid it. Yeah, so there might be a huge brain drain, and apart from this brain drain, you'll also see the society perhaps collapse because the major food producers are white farmers. They do large-scale, high-tech farming. If those people decide to start farming in the U.S., food security is gone. It's absolutely gone. I don't know what the South African government thinks they're going to be doing, whether they will be importing everything, but it's just insanity. And they're not the current South African government, the ANC, the South African Communist Party, whoever all the groups are, I've lost track of it. They are completely incompetent as a government, but they are very skilled at politics. I give them that. They're really skilled at politics. I think my ancestors, well, my elders, the baby boomers who gave up the country. I'm generation X, and the baby boomers, they just let slip this country out of their hands and just gave it away on a silver platter to their enemies. It's just still boggles my mind to this day. We had a referendum and people voted yes for that. to negotiate with the ANC. Complete insanity. I voted no. I could see it was just bullshit. How can you deal with, how can you just give your country to your enemy? It's madness. But the boomers decided, oh, things will work out. We'll be okay. And it didn't turn out okay. So yeah, thank you, Donald Trump. I really appreciate it. And I think a couple of 100,000, maybe 1 million or plus Afrikaners are really going to appreciate this opportunity. So yeah, thank you very much. God bless.
So my name is Dean Chansey, and I'm from Houston, Texas. And before I start this, I would like to say I know my country's screwed up. You know what, but I'm a songwriter. I've come to love South Africa. And I'm standing on a farm just around Cullinan. And I passed a Afrikaner this morning on the way up here, and he was walking alongside the road with probably 20 years old with a South African flag wrapped around him and some cardboard. And I stopped and gave him some money. And I got back in my car and I just got mad. And so I want to ask folks here something. And please, if their kids listen to this, please don't let them listen to it. But my question is why aren't you all so fucking mad that smoke is coming out of your ears? Why aren't you so fucking mad that you're breathing fire? Why aren't you so fucking mad at what's going on in this country that you're willing to go next door and take your neighbor's hand and say, enough of this shit. I've had enough. You know, if the Boer stood up, you built this country. This country is what it is today because of what you guys did. So my question is, why aren't you fucking mad about it? Why aren't you so fucking mad that you're willing to say enough's enough? Why aren't you so fucking mad that you're willing to stand up? Because this country's going to shit, and you guys are all standing around like it's not. There's 10% of you that are on fire and want to do something about it. The other 90% of you are sitting in your houses, comfortable as you can be, taking your little vacations, acting like nothing's going on. Okay, maybe you're not sure what to do. Well, I'll give you something to do. Say fucking no. Say enough's enough. Stand up and say, we're not taking this no more. Because I know if you guys will stand up and say, we're not taking this no more, this country will stop dead. Why are you going to wait till it goes to shit like Zimbabwe? Maybe you're going to wait because you're so comfortable. You know what? I went to a concert last night, and you know what I saw? I saw a bunch of Afrikaners sitting around acting like they were in Europe somewhere, not giving a shit. And I saw just a few willing to do something about it. What are you guys going to do? Are you going to wait till everything goes to hell and then cry in your millie meal and say, everything's gone to hell, it's so terrible? Well, that's where it's going. The ANC is going to do nothing but run this country into the friggin' ground like they've been doing for the last 20-something years. If you guys will stand up and say enough's enough, you can stop this. Okay, it's going to cost you something, but you know what? When this place goes to shit, it's going to cost you everything. You're going to have nothing. And if you don't stand up today and say the hell with it, we've had a fucking enough, then this country is shit. You're going to have nothing. Your kids are going to have nothing. Your forefathers gave their lives, their sweat, and their blood. They believed in God and trusted God, but you know what? They had to go do something about it. They didn't rest on their laurels, or they'd still be down in Cape Town going, I wish we could get away from here and do something about it. You know, things are tough down here. No, they got in their wagons and they charged up Africa. And they built the greatest nation in South Africa. What are you guys going to do? Say, enough is enough. Stand up like the Boers that you are. take each other's hands and say no. Just say no. Say, we're not taking this anymore. We've had enough. It stops right here with us. Because if you don't, you're going to lose everything. And I will pray that God will give you the strength to do it. And God bless, keep all of you, and keep you safe, and give you the strength to do what I know that only a Boer can do. You know, what's impossible for us is not impossible for God. You have the witness of Blood River. You have the witness of the Great Trek. You have the witness of this country. But you know what? Your forefathers had to do something about it. God bless.
My name is Davy Wessels. President Trump, I see a lot of liberals wants to tell you what's going on in South Africa. Well, on ground level, our situation is dismal. And yes, you are correct in your assumption that South Africa is a failed state. We are experiencing a war-like situation with more than 22,000 people being murdered each year, hundreds of thousands of people being affected by crime each year. Thousands of our people and children are being murdered and raped on a daily basis. I'm a Boer and farmer, and since the ANC came into power, thousands of white farmers were murdered and tortured to death on their farms. This being actively encouraged by the EFF and ANC. People are dying in state hospitals, always, waiting for days to be admitted for standard procedures. All the while, the ANC cadre steals the money, which is supposed to go to the needy. All state institutions are failing, and the woke liberal DA are the ones signing the expropriation law into power, since they are part of the ANC-led government. The situation is so bad currently that if a loved one doesn't answer their phone, you're immediately worried about what could have happened to them. The woke liberals and the ANC is trying to paint a rosy picture, but if you want our help in your investigation, we will show you the reality on ground level. We already gathered 50,000 signatures in 2 days in support of this message of us, and it is to be handed over in a huge gathering by our fellow Boers and Patriots Saturday the 15th at the U.S. Embassy in Pretoria. This gathering is organized by myself and fellow Afrikaner Willem Petzer. We sincerely hope this message will reach you, and we want to thank the international community for their continued support.
I'm South African, and I think it's a perfect time to talk about a white group in South Africa that's getting oppressed. They don't have any cell phones, TVs, or radios, so they don't know that they can seek for refugee status in America. So I'm speaking on their behalf. I think it's gone far past the point where the American government can talk to the South African government. America needs to come with like planes, rush, get these people. They live in Orania, that is the town in South Africa. The state of their living is so bad that you need to just like take them, tell them take anything of importance, and America's gonna save them. They're gonna live a better life in America. Thank you so much, guys, and I really hope that you save the people of Orania.
I want to use this opportunity to congratulate the Afrikaners because of the white genocide that is happening in South Africa, white genocide. Donald Trump has decided to give all of you refugee status. This is wonderful. You know, let's see whether you're going to live your privileged lives of having like 20 housemates and having like different farms to one person and being paid like 4 or 5 times over what a black person is earning for the same job. Let's see how you are going to navigate being a refugee in the United States. You see, AfriForum played this thing badly because they were expecting America to come all guns blazing with their military and sanctions and everything. And America said, no, if you are not satisfied with living there because there's white genocide, come to the United States and become refugees. So go to the United States and become refugees. And at least a lot of poor landless black South Africans will be able to have land. Somebody asked me, why is this your business? I don't even know. It's my business, but I don't know why it's my business.
Farmers leave, we'll be fine in SA.
If the white farmers leave, then we are going to enter civil war. Okay, listen, speaking as a South African, I think I can speak for a lot of us, maybe all of us, when I say, please don't send Elon Musk back. Like, also, please don't judge us by him. Like, we all have that, like, really weird, kind of messed up member of the family. You know what I mean? Every family's got that one nephew, you know, or that, like, dodgy uncle that comes to dinner, you know, and always, like, lingers a little too long on the hello kiss. Do you know what I'm saying? We all have that one dodgy member of the family. Elon Musk is South Africa's dodgy member of the family. He's like the uncle that you really don't want to invite to Christmas, but you kind of have to. Please keep him. America, you can keep him, or you can send him somewhere else, but like we don't really want him back here. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Hi guys, I hope you have watched the full clip. And the white farmers in South Africa, they are really crying out for help. They just want President Donald Trump to help them. And Donald Trump came out and said that he will offer them a refugee in United States so that they can go and live there a better life because of the genocide that is going on in South Africa, the high crime rate that is going on in South Africa, because we have all seen there is a lot of white South African farmers that are being killed by criminals. And what will be the effect if these white farmers go to United States to be as refugees? Will it affect the economy of South Africa, or will the South African people go and take back their land? Because there is some South African people who have came out and are saying these white people should go to America. They should accept this. They should accept this. They should accept what Donald Trump is being offering to them, to go to the United States to be as refugees. They should not refuse this invitation to the United States, because the South African people, they just want to take back their own land, because they feel like a lot of white people went to South Africa and they took all over their own land. They want freedom in their country. But at the other hand, will the economy of South Africa drop, or will it affect the economy of South Africa? Because all these white farmers, they are really doing a very great job when it comes to economy of South Africa. They have really made the economy of South Africa to rise, to be stable. Because if these white farmers go to United States as refugees, the rate of crime rate will increase at a very high pace, because these criminals will go to other people's door stealing their own food. They will go to everywhere stealing food, because these white farmers, they have went back to United States. And this means that the food production being produced in South Africa will reduce, because, or either if these people will go, the South African people should themselves be the farmers, because we all know there's a lot of white people in South Africa who are really farmers, and they have been able to make the economy of South Africa to be stable. But they have really came out and they are really crying out for help. They just want Donald Trump to protect them. And what I really think is, will Donald Trump be able to protect them? Because one thing I really know, South Africa and America, they are not in good terms, because South Africa joined BRICS and President Donald Trump is against these BRICS. Because if these people really want help from President Donald Trump, I really don't think if President Donald Trump will help them, because he will tell them if they want help, why can they ask Russian government to help them? Why can they ask China government or Brazil? Because you all know BRIC nation started with 5 countries: Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, including in them. But President Donald Trump, he can ask all these white farmers in South Africa to ask even Russia or China to help them, or Brazil. But he really came out and said that he will give them a refugee. They can go to United States, but they can go to United States as refugees. But why? How can these people in South Africa, some of them, they are living a better life? Those that are not being attacked either by criminal or that they are not facing gang violence in South Africa, and others that are coming out and saying that racism in South Africa is at a high pace. They are facing racists in South Africa. But how can you go to other country as a refugee and you leave the other country whereby you are earning a lot of money, you are being paid double the salary other people are being paid, because we all know the white farmers in South Africa, they are really earning a lot of money in South Africa due to the production of their food, due to the production of their farm food in South Africa. How can they go to United States to be refugees? Will they be given lands to farm? Will they be given a place where they can plant their own food? They can raise their own animals, their farm product, so that at least they can be able also to live a better life. What's your opinion? Should these people go back to their land? Should they go and join the white people in America, or should they stay back? But other people, they are saying that they are okay with these white people in South Africa. Some South African people that have came out and said that they are okay with these white people or white farmers in South Africa, but others, they are saying these white people should go back to America so that at least they can take back their land, because you all know in South Africa a lot of land that are being owned by white people. White people, they are owning a very large and many acres of land in South Africa, whereby some South Africans, they feel like their land were being taken, and this is the right time whereby they can take their land back. So what's your opinion? Should these white people or white farmers go to America and take President Donald Trump offer to be refugees, or should they stay back in South Africa, whereby some of them, they are living a better life, they are earning their own money, they are very earning even the double amount of money than some South African people they are earning. But let's see what will happen if President Donald Trump will help them, or if they will take this offer to go to United States. So guys, if it was for the first time you come across my video, don't forget to like this video, subscribe and share. Thank you so much for your time. May God bless you.